joined from Cairo by Al-Ahram newspaper managing editor, Mr. Ashraf Abo El-hol. Welcome to Qnews, sir. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Sir, what does the mass walkout during Netanyahu's UN speech signal about Israel's growing diplomatic isolation amidst accusations of genocide in Gaza?
First of all, my greetings to you and to your audience. It's for sure that the mass walk out by the member states at the UNGA during Netanyahu's speech refers to the wide reduction to Israel's policies and besieging Gaza Strip and genocide. This mass walk out is not only newborn but also during last session for the UN, during the Israel's envoy, most of world states interrupted this speech, and also today they interrupted his speech although he claimed addressing or giving an important speech, but that didn't justify of what occupation forces is doing with the genocide in Gaza. He only tried to tell lies as expected by the world. Therefore, many have restrained from attending and let Netanyahu talks almost solely in front of the GA. Refers this and the continuity of operations means more isolation to Israel, and we have to find an immediate solution to this conflict, starting from the Israel withdrawal and allowing delivery aid and also reconstruction of the strip and recognize the two-state solution.
Sir, how does Netanyahu's vow to finish the job square with international law, given that over 65,000 Palestinians have been killed and Gaza lies in ruins?
Netanyahu cannot pledge implementing international law while already breaching it. Israel is accused by the International Criminal Court of war crimes, and Israel didn't apologize of about what they did under any circumstances. They didn't try to rectify the situation, and it's still continuing in its atrocities and aggression and besieging, hindering aid access. Therefore, Netanyahu cannot pledge to do this because he doesn't feel that he made any criminal wars, although the mass recognition of his war crimes against Palestine.
To what extent could mounting global protests and recognition of a Palestinian state by key Western allies pressure Israel to change course or face accountability?
I think the largest interpretation is from the U.S. because Israel depends completely on U.S. military support or political or even economic support. So the U.S. has to realize that Israel needs to improve its image, needs to withdraw, to lift the siege, to accept a Palestinian state. That didn't happen from Israel, but only will happen if the U.S. lifted its Israel protection, Israel will so be uncovered, will be held accountable.
How does Pakistan's condemnation of Israeli atrocities reflect shifting sentiment within the global South? And what impact could that have on Israel's legitimacy at the UN?
And is one of the world countries condemning Israel's aggression and stated clearly the necessity of ending this aggression. Pakistan has a great influence on the world power, as it's a nuclear country and an Arab ally as well, and the rest of the Islamic countries, and also maintain great relation with the US, and Pakistan can use its leverage with its good relation with the US, and East Asia can participate in convincing the Americans to pressure Israel to withdraw from Gaza, allow delivery entrance, and find a permanent solution to the Palestinian cause.
Can President Trump's claim that a Gaza deal is close realistically succeed while Israel doubles down on its military campaign and rejects growing international criticism?
I didn't hear the question. Can you repeat?
Of course, sir. Can President Trump's claim that a Gaza deal is close realistically succeed while Israel doubled down on its military campaign and rejects growing international criticism?
To have that succeeds because the US is the greatest power in the world and has the greatest influence on Israel, and the world leaders met together with the Arab and Islamic countries leaders, and they found it shameful when they addressed this issue, because they want a U.S. stance calling for hostage release, ending the war, and having an Arab power to maintain peace. They call it to avoid or any previous thoughts. So if Trump made its promise, I think issues or things will go well.
How does Yair Lapid's harsh criticism of Netanyahu's UN speech reflect deepening political divisions inside Israel? And could those divisions weaken Israel's war strategy and diplomatic position internationally?
Yair Lapid is in the opposition, and he refuses Netanyahu's policies and his insistence to continue the war, and his failure to defend Israel's image. And I think this confirms that there is insistence from Netanyahu to go forward in the war, and there is a rejection inside Israel.
That was Al-Ahram newspaper managing director, editor rather, Mr. Ashraf Abo El-hol from Cairo. Thank you very much for joining us on Qnews.